In this tutorial, I'm gonna make Setlevel slash weather and slash time command. So open your game mode. Okay, cmd Setlevel. Okay, first of all, you need to make sure that the player that is using Setlevel is admin himself. So type if player ID label is less than 5 and isn't is player admin player ID. So we're saying if the player label is less than 5, or if the player is not logged into Archon, then return send client message. I'm gonna use one of these. So return send client message error. You need to be level 5 admin, level 5 or Archon admin. Okay, so if the player was logged into Archon, then the script won't call this. Okay, so here we're going to use sconf, the wireless plugin. So first we need two parameters. We need the ID of the player that we are going to give admin to. So type maybe give ID, and then we need to specify the label that we are going to give them. Now type sconf params ID. So this I is for his ID and D is for the label because D is a number. So type give ID label. If sconf params give ID close bracket. So in here we are saying if the player didn't type anything after set label, and at the same time we are getting the label that he typed and the ID. So if the player did not type anything after slash set label, then show the player what the command does. So return send client message player ID -1 color, because I give it color here, usage. So you can say that this command is set label and then label, and then the player ID, the ID of the player that you want to give label, and label. And if the player did type the ID and the ID and label, then it will get the ID and label in here. This will be the ID of that player, and this will be the label. Now you need to run a few checks. First of all, you need to make sure the player is connected. So if isn't is player connected, give ID. So if the player is not connected, this is not connected. So if the player is not connected, return send client message again. Send client message. This time we are sending message to the player ID. We're not sending it to give ID, to the player itself that is using the command. So you can say that that player is not connected. You also need to make sure that that player is registered and is logged in. So type if player give ID, because we're talking about the other player. So player give ID logged. If player give ID logged is equal to false, which means that if that player is not logged in, then send client message to the player that's using the command that player is not logged in. So whether he's not registered or not logged in, it doesn't really matter. As long as as long as his logged is false, that means he's either not registered or he's registered but he didn't logged in. So now we can say that if level is less than 0, so if you put level, for example, -1, it shouldn't work. Or if you put any level above 5. So you're saying if level is less than 0, which is -1, to infinity, minus infinity, or to put or, you need this. You need to type it 2 times. I don't know what's it called. Or level is bigger than 5, which is from 6 to infinity. Then return send client message. Invalid label. You can say invalid label. Also run another check if player give ID label is equal to the label that you are trying to give him. So if the player label was equal to the label that you are about to give him, then again return send client message that player is already this label. Okay, once we run all the checks, we can then build our command. Now because the label is a number, you can type -int set p profile, because we are again opening the file name of that player. Gave ID, remember, we're opening the file for that ID, profile for that ID. Comma label, and then the label that we are going to give him. So this will save the new label in his profile. So we're opening his profile and we're changing the value of label to the one that we type. And we also need to give him, now we set his, we gave him label in his file, but we need to give him admin in the server as well. So player gave ID label is equal to the label that we type. So that's it. Now maybe you want to send a message to the whole server saying that the player got that label. So it's new iString 256 format iString size up iString